Each week, Val and Amber make royal predictions and track breaking news headlines.
Piper pipe. Is this having something to do with Neptunian types of things? It's a problem. It could be the first few days of May.
May 1st, Sandringham Estate closes due to a plumbing emergency from a broken pipe.
Can we get a card for Canada? How are they going to do in the next month?
Strength, power, in a really positive place.
2 weeks later, a shocking fourth-time political win.
With regard to Harry, it's not really going to go his way. He is going to be at war.
They're using his words against him.
May 2nd, Prince Harry loses his appeal for security protection and sits down for a lengthy, no-holds-barred interview with BBC.
Definitely don't get a redhead mad.
April 18th prediction.
It looks like there is Navy involved. Will the Navy escalate this week?
4 days later, the Royal Navy's Operation HIMARS deploys.
That is coming in hot. Ace of Wands. It's a yes card.
Nice to see you all. Welcome to World Predictions and Royal Revelations. Amber with Taurus Moon Tarot, and I will be looking at predictions and the royal family this week and in June. So we are here to look ahead. This time we are investigating a big fire drill. So we're going to check in with Prince Harry's next move also, and an unbelievable few weeks ahead for King Charles, especially in late May. Anyway, if you're just joining us for the first time and you don't know anything about astrology, that's okay. We break down tabloid headlines and review omens and signs that we see normally every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. GMT. So hit the subscribe button to get your notifications. And we also on this show teach you how to make your own predictions. And that's by using your own soul return chart. A special thanks to our replay crew, as well as the members that make this show possible, the valedictorians. And if you'd like to become one and support us, just click the join button and get some member-only content. I'm going to be on tonight talking about relationships for members only. And I'm also holding a forensic astrology class later this month, and that's listed on my site. And you can book a reading with me, or you can email Amber. And it's always so much fun to book a reading with Amber. She's so positive and yet so detailed. And so I love that. And if you're interested in looking up any of my books, they are on Amazon, The Secret Career Code and Forensic Astrology 101. We've got story time today. It's a very interesting story, and it involves tarot. And it happened to me this week, and I'm dying to tell Amber about it, so I haven't told her yet. It's some good news that happened to me. And if you're interested in pulling your own solar return chart, you're going to go to AstroSeek, and you're going to click the year of your last solar return. That's going to be 2024 if you haven't had your birthday yet. And then you're going to click on the solar only tab. Some of the predictions that we had last week, including the Trump family crypto venture. We were talking a little bit about how something really big is coming in for the Trumps, and we could see that through the solar return chart. So that was right before whatever's coming in May. We've been talking a lot about it, having to do with Gemini. How are you doing, Amber?
Well, I'm intrigued. I can't wait to hear the story.
This is May. I'm going to say the 1st of May. We got into the Aries time frame. And so Mars is activating in the solar return chart for the UK. So this is a fire sign, a lot of fire. So I wanted to just show that to everybody close up. And so we've also got North Node in Aries as well. So what you're going to receive. So sometimes that can be very good. And if it's in Aries, it might be something like you might have more military, more power, more firepower. So, it's all coming in, you are receiving. But at the same time, it can show, like we've been saying, the war-related types of themes that can come in. And also, we're going to talk a little bit today about how Saturn's coming into Aries later this month, and it's going to be quite a shift, and it's going to affect quite a few royals, I think. All right. So there is the UK chart, the full UK chart. And we've got Chiron there. I put an arrow there on Chiron. And so in the sixth house of it can be work, health, routine. And so I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about that before we even get into that. I wanted to ask you if you pulled any cards for this show.
I did. And the interesting tarot spread that came out, I have sort of 3 specific messages. This one I started to love, and then I sort of had another message coming through. But I have the big energy with the Chariot and the 10 of Pentacles, and then I got the Death card from a separate deck to clarify what this could indicate. And I just see sort of storylines or headlines or themes around family travel. It certainly could be around groups of people traveling. I pointed out and noted that Chiron before you mentioned it. So I wonder if Chiron wounds, things like that. I sort of had this energy a couple weeks ago that I didn't actually mention. I thought it during our time together. And then I thought, oh, I should have said that. Like the cars that go through a crowd. And I've been seeing these events in my local area about streets closed off and I'm like, I won't go near it. I won't go near anything like that where there's crowds of people in street fairs. So we'll keep our eyes on that.
Yeah, it's wise right now. There is, and because of the Gemini, there's twinning events. So we're just seeing car go into
I have
crowd.
the Gemini card. That was
Wow.
the astrology card that came through with it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're really seeing Gemini here.
Yeah.
More Italy, probably more talk, of course. Now, I'm really interested in seeing the themes of pizza because Gemini also means pizza. So hopefully it's not something that happens in a pizza shop, only good things. But because of that Gemini T-square we've been seeing in the past few shows, it does seem like transportation and cars, also collectors. Remember, Gemini is collecting things. If you know a Gemini, they probably have things from, decades ago. They're the best people to have valuable things from, that are handed down as heirlooms because they'll keep them because they're very good with small things. So might have something to do with collection, but we hope that people are going to stay safe. And so that's very wise, I think. And Pernille Wolf Jensen, nice to see you from Denmark. And wow, 19 months. That's amazing. Have we even been on for 19 months? Wow. Oh, Kimberly, I didn't know that. King Charles is coming here, Canada in a few weeks. Great. And great to see you, Kimberly. Okay. And Toy's here. Nice to see you, Toy. Okay. Oh, this is the first ever you got a notification. That's so strange. Well, maybe somebody's waking up here on StreamYard or YouTube. And all right. So let me get back to the charts. And this, what is this? Oh, this is the show chart. I just pulled it for today. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And I wanted to just zoom in real quick. There is this Mercury conjunct Chiron. We are talking about war and we're talking about Chiron. Can you believe that? Isn't that funny? And so this is our show chart. And also, so we're up here in the 8th house. So we're pulling cards in the 8th house. And we're also talking about Gemini and things that are dangerous, 22 degrees in Gemini. And then also there's a trine to part of fortune. So that's very good. And there could be somebody mad at me though, because I've got somebody down here in the person, they're not too thrilled at me. This is a square to Mercury, probably a conservative or somebody who is just plain mad. So hopefully we'll just focus on this part. And so that's what you do in your chart. You just look at and see what kind of things are coming in that, the red line, you just be aware of the blue line, what's really going to work. And I thought that this Aries, it does represent fire too, which is the name of the show.
Yeah.
Oh God, we've got a lot of omens and symbols. I mean, we have too many. But how about sovereignty, winning the Kentucky Derby? I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And he was 151st. That's crazy. So that was on May 3rd. Here's going back. Did you see this?
I did.
And I mean, there's a whole big thing. You're seeing a lot of news articles where you're like, I really want to care. Like I feel for people who get their things stolen.
Yeah.
But why do we see it so much? Another one that we see is Bill Belichick's, the former coach of the Patriots.
Right.
Him and his girlfriend, like, why do they want us to care so much about these people? It's very strange.
Yeah.
But remember Bill Belichick, he is kind of the symbol of a Leo, I think.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, it's a symbol of Gemini because we're talking about theft. So I thought maybe that would be like a sign of something. It's like Gemini's coming.
Yeah.
You just wait. Then we also have Harry, and we're going to look at some of his charts about how he lost the legal challenge over security. It doesn't look like it's going to get better for him. And then I also noticed, talk about Leos. I mean, we've got sports is a Leo type of signature, and we've got the Beckhams, but there is unfortunately some issues with the sons, also Leo. And so they're splitting up in a sense. The family is splitting up on the 50th birthday party and not just the birthday party, but in general, there's a lot of talk about how the family isn't speaking. So those family types of rifts are in.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, we were looking at Catherine's future and how we got the sun. And then it was a few days later, she goes blonder and everybody's talking about that. Then we see this nice photo of both of them on their anniversary with their backs turned. What is a Leo? It never seems the back.
That's right.
And what are they turning their backs on? And then we've got another back. We've got Harry's back with his kids, which Duchess Meghan posted. So very sad. Also black and white photo.
Black and white.
Yeah.
Yes, that stood out to me.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, it's sad. That's, or it could, I mean, it's not always sad. Sometimes it can just mean old. But here, I don't know. And I mean, it's not the first time they've posted photos with them like that. Now, here's a big one, and I'm going to need your help with this one. You've seen this one, right? But when you get a front row seat and then you get a picture of yourself looking at a coffin, maybe you don't want to be in the front row. But I feel like this is not a great photo to be out there. And also, we were looking at this with the Pope's show, how there was twinning. In fact, when you saw the Pope in the casket, he kind of looked like Trump a little bit. It was really weird how they were twinning. So I thought that maybe you could give us some insight on what does this mean when we're seeing the connection between President Trump and a dead Pope? I'm sorry to say it like that.
You know, the photo prior, the thing that actually stuck out to me, yes, he's looking at a coffin and it has the cross. The thing that stood out most to me was Melania. I mean, her attire is widow all over it. I mean, she's attending a funeral, but she looked like out of the 1940s representation of a widow. He's got, this is tough, 5 of Wands. There's almost like with the Pope, it feels like he eights, August. So I don't know if you've looked at August for him, but there might be a setback in his ability to work, or he may have some kind of headline around his son, where there's maybe some discord around his kid, or his kid is leaving. I don't know where his kid lives. Where's his kid live? Is he at college? Oh, you're back on mute.
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, Barron in New York, I think.
Okay, so it's the the youngest. I would say this might represent Baron. And there's a fight, there's a disagreement, there's someone, moving away from, walking away from something, and it's connected to, well, this could also be a student. So student, school, going somewhere for school, leaving, but it's not copacetic with the Five of Wands.
So the sun definitely has something to do with some of this.
And all these eights is Leo, so it makes me think of the month of August.
I think I've always thought that Trump was in danger because of this Gemini. It's like a crash coming. We're going to look at some crash charts. And what I think happens with the crashes, including the one on the Potomac on January 29th, is that it gives some kind of insight. It's a warning of something. So we'll have to take a look at that. So that's interesting. So you got more family types of themes from this.
Yeah. And the Fool card is someone starting over, starting something new, launching into, I don't know, is he in college or is he high school? I don't even know how old he is.
Yeah, Baron's in college.
He's in college. Okay. Maybe changing school.
Yeah, there's a lot that's in Baron's chart about change this year too. So that would make sense.
Yeah.
Now we have the USA chart for 24-25. And where are we right now? And you would look at this like you would look at your own soul return chart. Right before his birthday, it looks like there are some serious, you've got Pluto and Scorpio. And what's Trump's background? It's Atlantic City. It's lots of gambling and lots of real estate. He likes his real estate. So you're seeing that come in. This is the last month before his birthday. This is in June. We're seeing a gigantic T-square. This might have something to do, Leo's the sun, but it's also, it's something that's also twinning because of Mercury. It's like two cats or a group of cats, and they're trying to do something and they can't. This could be crypto, and part of fortune is at 29 degrees. So there is some success because there's some blue lines that go towards it. But this is a pretty intense T-square. It also means, because whenever you have a T-square with Leo, it is going to be bullying. But I think it might have something to do with this fire drill we're talking about. Is there some type of fire in June?
The cards that I got initially show me disappearing with the Hermit and the Moon. And then I have the Death card that clarifies it. This feels like someone disappearing. Oh, money disappearing. A lot of money that goes away. Did you say crypto? Or
crypto. It could be crypto. Maybe it's stolen from him.
Something. It's a lot of money with the Ace of Pentacles.
What do these people do with all that money? I guess they buy islands or something.
It feels like foreign money. It could be foreign money too. The Two of Wands.
And it's like with that woman sitting by the window, it's like, bye-bye, can't do anything about it. And Angel, back to the Beckham. Thanks, Val and Amber. So nice of you. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, aren't eights riches too? Financial, yeah. Jen, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Elfaz, you said, can you see if Trump 2028 is real, not just a merchandise? That's a great show idea. So what you were saying, Angel, was somebody made a noise complaint. How dare they? It's David Beckham, for God's sakes. Just trying to have his birthday, except I think he had like 3 birthday parties or something like that. And
as one does.
As one does. And they should.
Yeah.
Jan, how are you, Jan? Trump's children are open knowledge. Starmer's children seem like secrets, allegedly. Yeah, that's true. Hello, Valerie. Nice to see you from Ireland. Definitely crypto. And Baron is extremely close to his grandfather on his mother's side. I did not know that. Angel says there are rumors that Baron was rejected from Ivy League schools, allegedly. Okay. So lots of money. Keeping in mind, too, that Leo is back in heart. So there could be a heart attack over crypto. It's so interesting with these signs, because what happens is we have to experience both sides of a sign. So we're going to be seeing, sometimes you're the queen of the land, and then other times you have to deal with the other sides of Leo. And one of the things I see a lot with Leo is heartbreak, and you see that a lot with Jennifer Lopez, or just anybody who's Leo. They're brokenhearted about something sometimes in their life. Not that the other signs aren't, but you see it more.
Right.
Aaliyah's crash chart. 2001. August 2001. And this was a crash right before September 11th.
I was just thinking that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so what do we have on the rising sign? We have Aquarius, which is planes, towers. This was at the time that she boarded, I believe. And so there's a big T square here. And so so you look at Uranus in this chart and you're like, well, Uranus also tells us the future about something.
Right.
So what is Uranus telling us? Well, there's a little blue line here to a bunch of foreign guys up here. They are religious men. I think there were 19 of them.
Yes.
19, right?
Wow.
And with Pluto and the moon, this is something very famous. And
Wow.
so I think with the famous people, like very well-known people crashing, it's kind of like well, guess what? Here's something famous that's about to happen after this. Maybe
Yeah.
it's kind of omen of some sort.
Yeah.
So yeah, that Sagittarius is foreign people. You got that 22 degrees Chiron in there. So we always see that. And also, this is not something I like to talk too much about, but look at how there's an airplane that did not, was not around the towers. It went into the Taurus ground. Oh, and by the way, what was she filming right before the crash? Rock the Boat. Okay, so just remember that. And so there it is for anybody watching on their phones. It's Uranus right on the ascendant at 18 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And also Uranus conjunct Black Moon Lilith is a bunch of, maybe sinister planes.
Yeah.
Okay, and there it is. Dale Earnhardt died in the NASCAR race that year in 2001.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so the sun here at 18 degrees, so a king of sports
Right.
passes. And so the sun is over here.
And he's sort of a redhead and a beard, that Leo.
Yes, so
Right.
much Leo. And what does he do? He races with his son.
Yeah.
And they are twins.
Yeah.
So for this chart, you really don't, it's kind of hard to see it, but what's up at the very top? It is a group of people. Saturn is right on Algol. So the devil's group is in this one, just Mars here. There's a foreign guy. So much Aquarius, obviously, it's Aquarius season, but you can see that there are some things in the future that are about to happen. And okay, so Patsy Cline, and I'm laughing because it's so off the wall. And
I don't know that you know that I am a big fan of Patsy Cline.
Are you really?
I am. Yes.
Oh my God.
Fan.
Well, so you like I'll Sail My Ship Alone then?
Yeah. And here's the other oracle card for today. Do you love this?
Oh my God. That's
The lady in a boat.
Wow.
I did. Yeah.
Lots of boat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so Patsy Cline died in a plane crash the year that President Kennedy died.
Yeah.
And here we go. The ascendant, when she left that day, was in Leo, which is a president. And Mars, president, is shot. So that's in her chart. Interesting how her most popular, I think it's her most popular song is I Fall to Pieces. So strange omen. But then you think about who killed President Kennedy and what did he say? He said, I'm just a patsy. So that's in the chart too. I'm getting chills. It's so weird.
Wow.
So it's all part of the code. And of course,
And when you just said it's very strange, that's another one of her most popular songs. Strange.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. So I don't like to show this, but I cut out most of the photo, but this is the Potomac crash. And so this is the crash on January 29th. And here we go. We have this Leo at 8.
Yeah.
And Lord of Leo is over here with all of these people in Aquarius. Now that could be crypto. And we're seeing that. We're definitely seeing how there's a lot of tension with the crypto. It's very famous. It's like a famous president, but it kind of shows like a famous president falls.
Yeah.
And Jupiter in Gemini is like the twin. So it's twinning something. It's some kind of twin event of some sort. So this very well could be something financial related. It makes me think that look at what's falling in this chart.
When you say president, did it make you think of the Ronald Reagan International Airport where it occurred?
No, I didn't think of that at all.
When you said president, I assumed that's what you meant. And that airport, recent weeks, they've had multiple near misses.
Gemini is twin crashes, twin issues. Also, two or a group of people that are trying to figure out what's happening here. Saturn's in here. I'm so intrigued about the Aquarius. This is a group. This is a lot of groups. Mercury think about Mercury. Mercury is a group of people. 20 people times a million with regard to the omen of this chart and how it might affect world predictions. What are we looking at with this Aquarius stellium?
Let's see. It's so strange that I keep having that Hermit card. This feels like a Princess Diana repeat if there's a duplicate, because I can't say enough about this initial spread with vehicle. I have my Diana card and I have the Hanged Man. Can you see men in this chart? I see men specifically.
Yeah. This is something very, very famous. But the men would be more over here because Mars is men. The sun is also, I would say that's the president though.
It feels like, like if you look at this card at the bottom, can you see who's on the ground? It's a king.
Oh my God.
In a royal robe. I don't know if you can see this here. Very famous. It feels like a famous car accident or famous accident. And it made me think of Kobe Bryant's crash.
What was his crash? It was right before COVID. Right. So that would be another like shocker that was coming up. With this shocker, I think it's what you're saying. I can't believe you got that chariot. It's almost like I think of like a Tom Clancy movie, like everybody's stuck and maybe there's like a car involved. Mercury's car. There's just a ton of cars.
Yeah.
Or it could be like a twin engine. But what's really weird is I think it was on President Trump's social media account. He was posting his new plane.
Oh.
So it's a new plane with all the gold and all of that. Yeah.
The sign you had, that symbol with the Kentucky Derby. I mean, those two horses in your image is like a repeat in this card too. Mm-hmm. And this particular death card with the horses.
Jan says, Starmer's said to be giving away UK fishermen's fishing grounds to European Union. Oh, I'm sure they're thrilled about that. The Hanged Man stuck hanging in the balance, falling into the sea. Yes, with regard to Patsy Cline's songs. Because of the 11th house, what's strange, it's all in the 11th house. It's almost like whatever happens, social media is going to see it all, like live. And that's really weird. All right, so we've got Aries and Leo energy here. So much going on with the fire signs, fire drill. And so I'm going to look at the UK chart again. We've got Aries here. It seems like there's going to be a fire. Where is this fire going to affect people? Or actually, can I ask this? Will there be a fire that affects the royals?
Well, they just had that flood, so
I know. And you were the one who saw that too. I couldn't believe it.
I mean, the answer is yes, it could affect them. I don't know how closely, but I don't love the Knight of Swords. I feel like it's probably something outside of the UK, but if there's a fire, but it's like people have to flee. People have to run for safety, but it feels like it's somewhere else. But yes, if they are affected. Queen of Swords, Emperor. I mean, these are world leaders. So men and women alike. Emperor could be Africa.
We keep seeing fire being used almost like terrorism. And
When you said that, I get that Three of Swords. I mean, this is like agony. This is that Chiron kind of energy.
Okay. Eleanor, you said you can't wait to see the back of Starmer, and I have not seen. Please, Val, say that cryptocurrencies are on the up. I think they are. I do think they are, but it's a little bit shady right now. It's kind of like the gold rush. People are definitely taking advantage. I remember way back in the day, if you went to the grocery store and you used your credit card, it was just like, what?
Where's your
now?
Yeah.
But it's just so different now. I think it's going to be like that with crypto.
I went to an ATM and I was very confused and couldn't figure it. It was Bitcoin. It was a machine for Bitcoin. And I thought it was I was like this old lady at the, I thought it was the ATM. Like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah. I mean, that they probably do that on purpose too. So it makes you think that it's, a regular ATM. So I have King Charles because I wanted to look into that plumbing issue and with Sandringham. And I guess you could call that one of his homes. In King Charles's chart, these are pipes, by the way. I put a little pipes here. You've got Venus that rules his fourth house of home, conjunct Neptune, which is a flood. And then at the time of this flood, we had Mercury in the trickster in Aries. So there was an opposition kind of activating this flood, I guess. Mars coming in on his ascendant, squaring Mercury in Scorpio. And you've got Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. The plumbing. It's often, you see Mercury like Challenger or, where like the O-ring or something very small that happens where people are like, how did that happen? And it was just something real small that gets loose. We're going to start. This is May 24th. This is King Charles. Saturn is going to move in. A lot of people are going to be happy about this. Saturn is moving into Aries. Pisces, we can't rejoice too much because Saturn really has to be about 30 degrees outside of a sign in order for you to feel really like there's no Saturnian influence, but at least it's something. So with Saturn going into Aries, this is creating two squares, and one of them is hitting the planet that rules Prince Harry. So this is pretty big. This is big. So right now it's starting to square right now, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse all through May. And unfortunately, the ninth house, of course, means courts. I mean, we could really have looked at King Charles' transit chart to see how Prince Harry was going to do in court, because you can see there's no way. This is definitely some tension there. And how do I get that that's his son? Well, it's the seventh house is the second born. The first born is the fifth house. So that's going to be Pluto. This is Prince William. Prince William is the golden child right now as Mars comes in. There sure seems like, wow, this is really good. Like really good. Right. So much. Is it gold? Like, what is all of this good stuff that's happening for King Charles and Prince William?
And it's for the two of them specifically. Yeah. Yes, it is money. This is someone who has all of the gold. The King of Pentacles. Let's get a clarifier. Oh, it's like undoing a deal. Undoing a deal. Something around communications? Yeah, with the Judgment card in reverse and that Eight of Wands. This is going back on an agreement, but it's financially beneficial. Maybe it's canceling an agreement, going back on something. It's a reversal.
Okay. Do you think it has to do with gold?
Yes. Wow. She almost looks like she's panning for gold. And the yes card with this. I mean, this is a lot of fire energy, earth, money, and dreams coming true. It's interesting. It feels like it's been around before. There's something that they've tried before and they're going back to it. And it's good money. It could be real estate.
Could be real estate. And with all that Leo, maybe they're helping families, or it's pretty big because Mars conjunct Pluto, that's like a huge army. So maybe they are excited about something that has to do with the military where they're being asked for their opinion. Maybe there are things that are a little bit different than in years prior.
Yeah, this card from earlier and then this exchanging gifts card kind of made me feel like an agreement around the water, or like the Navy has been coming up so much in boats. And there's something around it, like you said, it could be around the military, but it could be specific to water. And exchanging gifts is like some kind of agreement, contract that gets money.
Meanwhile, we've got Harry up here, and it looks pretty bad for him, but if you add some of the aspects, you could see some really nice things coming for him. I mean, that doesn't look very good. But here's Harry up here, and with the moon in the north node and part of fortune, and then you've got a kite. So this is something that is taking off for him. And I wonder, I mean, I don't really know all the things that he's doing. Maybe he's starting a new charity. I'm not sure. What I think it could be where he would be offered a lot of money is to be, like, God forbid, a consultant on the royal family, or doing a spare two. It seems as if he's got a big, big opportunity coming. And I wonder if you could, I don't know, get some insight for us on what's coming up for him that looks really positive.
Yeah, the Hierophant in the upright, this is definitely, a lot of times for me, it's something that's very traditional. It can be religious, but it can also be the firm, the royal firm, the family. Something very structured, very traditional. Something political with his dad. Wow. The Tower. The King of Cups is definitely King Charles. This is some kind of crazy agreement. That's the word I keep getting, is an agreement. Okay. I know that they've said, yeah, like putting in charge of something. This, to me, this could be a security card. Makes me think of security. Does he start an organization around security? Does he start his own arm of that, leg of that? That's crazy. Oh, there's the royal family card on the bottom. Yeah, strength card. It's powerful. This is putting somebody in him powerful position.
Yeah, it's almost like the chips are falling and people are rising as the chips fall. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Eleanor, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I'm coming to some of these. I'm going back to some of your comments. Angel D, yes, thank you for reminding everybody to like our show, our little show. And Jan, you said Black Rock. Black Rock Willie, Circo Chaz. I love it. And you said Harry's titles don't need removal. Yeah, that's the big thing. But can we get a card for Prince Harry I mean, how could they not remove his titles? I mean, he's like the Tasmanian devil, it seems, through their eyes. What's going to happen with his title?
Oh my gosh. Here's my Harry card on the bottom. And to the question, Two of Cups, that's a breakup. That is losing a partnership. Could be losing a title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Yeah.
Energy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about this tonight on the show that I'm going to be doing. It's going to have Elizabeth Hurley and the Achy Breaky Heart guy, Billy Ray Cyrus. We're going to look at the possibilities of a relationship. But when you look at, let's say you're looking at a potential mate, it's nice when everything's hunky-dory and you're excited about the relationship. And it's going to happen usually, I mean, I shouldn't say this, but most of the time we think of during, 20s, 30s, 40s, you start a relationship.
Yeah.
And so that usually means the female is Venus.
Right.
And this is Prince Harry's birth chart. And the male is Mars at that point. But if you want to see how and if you're a female, you're going to look at a man's Saturn. If you're a male and you want to see how your mate, who's a female, is going to be when they're getting older, 50 years and older, you're going to look at Saturn for her chart. So we're looking at Prince Harry and we're going to look at Saturn. And this is when he turns 50. He's not there yet. He's getting there. And right now he's here. So you can see a nice blue line. They get along very well.
Yeah.
Sagittarius is lots of travel, Netflix. He becomes an American. He changes. Mars and Uranus is to switch. He switches to an American and sort of. So it looks very positive. But, once he does become Saturn, there's a nice blue triangle here with part of fortune. I mean, there are some very, very, very good things for him. It might have to do with inheritances, might have to do with maybe talking to the press or being a consultant of some sort. He looks pretty good. He looks like he's getting revenge too. But the only thing is that we want to look at not just Venus, but we want to look at the 7th house lord to see how he's going to get along with her after 50. And there's Megan there with gray hair.
Yes.
She's the moon and he is Saturn. And what's in the middle here? Leo. It's the kingdom. It's really going to tear them up. So it's going to be very difficult. And I saw this in the Duchess of Windsor's chart, how as soon as the former king, the exiled king, was Edward, right?
Yes.
Edward? And once he became Saturn, they didn't get along anymore. So I looked that up, and sure enough, they didn't really like each other. So this seems to be the case, I think, for Prince Harry. The way that they're going to make it work is for them to not be part of, the royal family. Like they have to completely be out of it. They can't be fighting or it's going to hurt them.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's completely going to fail, but it looks cold. It looks cold.
Yeah.
If you have Saturn in the chart, now the worst one is when you have Saturn in your partner's chart and it squares Venus. That's his wife. That's a very cold marriage. I know somebody who has this, and when they turned older, the husband didn't speak at all. Didn't say a word.
Wow.
Like it was like being in a library.
Wow.
You really got to keep an eye on that Saturn.
Yeah.
Now we've got Prince Andrew. This is his solar return. And we're coming off of some pretty serious news about Virginia Giuffre, his former accuser. And look at how we have the sign of unalivings there at the top of the chart on his solar return. And a square to the moon, which is in Scorpio, which is it's definite revenge. I wanted to,
No, just like gave me chills.
without being too controversial, what are we looking at here with the Pluto? And let me go back to this real quick.
Mm.
And I also have Black Moon Lilith in there. So this is pretty devious. I want to say that it maybe Virginia Giuffre really did unalive herself. What do
Right.
you think?
I do also. Yeah, that could not be like, that's the Urban Dictionary for word, truth, facts.
Wow. Oh God.
Yes, like you're speaking the truth. And then that Aquarius card under there, the King of Swords too. Yeah, this is like someone with a lot of pain, a lot of regret, sadness, depression.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
and we were talking about how there would be something, because we were looking at her solar return chart in that show, and how there would be something really big and vengeful coming. And I think that was letting go her diary that nobody had seen before, talking about Andrew. I mean, that's some serious Black Moon Lilith revenge.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Prince Andrew's solar return chart for this year, April 19th to May 19th. Mars is right here in Cancer, and this is the date that she unalived herself. So that was April 25th. So you could see Mars there. It's abusive. It's I'm trying to think. There it is. So there's two things that are happening in this period of time. There's a square to Uranus. Somebody gets hurt, and then yet there is a trine to Saturn, which represents Prince Andrew's career.
Right.
So it's like, you just think of it in a weird way. It's like he is, what do you call it? He's got independence, or he's released in a sense.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not saying anything too controversial, but I'm just looking at the chart. And and then he's got Venus at 8 degrees, which is a vengeful female.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess, one thing I wanted to mention is about Venus in general right now. It's coming out of shadow period. And that means relationships seem better. It means that money situations get better. And I wondered if you could give us like a card for coming up this week. It's such a big week for England and Europe because of VE Day and the celebrations. Is there something really positive coming up for this week?
Let's see. The Lovers. There's, this is interesting. This is like dating. This is like lots of love. This is like a love fest. It feels like an outdoor event. It's like when, you know what I'm thinking of? When they do those mass weddings where people show up and everybody gets a wedding, has a wedding. It's, I don't know what that's called, but something about marriages, partnerships. Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
It's fun. This is like a party. This is fun. Yeah.
Okay. I love it. Lots of knights running around. Okay.
It's like a pub crawl. Yep.
Pub crawl.
Yeah. Look, love. It's something about love. Feels like a Valentine's Day spread.
Maybe we're going to see something that has to do with like a marriage or something where everybody's like, oh my God. All right. So I wanted to tell you a quick story.
Okay.
And that is, this past week, one of my relatives who has been working really hard on his classic car. Well, I mean, very weak through being very sick.
Yeah.
And so it was like a real labor of love over a good amount of time, I would say almost a year.
Yeah.
And so I was helping him with this classic car show over the weekend. And so I pulled a card and I wanted to show him. He's a Capricorn. He doesn't care. He does not want to see my cards. I showed him anyway. And so I wanted to know what the outcome was for this car show. And so I'm going to show you the card and
Okay.
you tell me what you think.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. That's like winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I know. It's amazing, right?
Nine
And
of
so,
Cups. Yeah.
and I'm looking at this card and I'm like, how is that possible? First of all, he's never shown a card before.
Really?
The others in his category, I mean, these cards were really done up,
Yeah.
like just extra, lots of extras. And it was kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell you what happened. This is the trophy. He won the top prize.
Oh
Can
my
you
golden chalice.
Yeah,
The
called
Ace of Cups. That is perfect.
it's
How
called
fun.
what is it called? Let me see. It is called the Corinthian Cup.
How
He won the Corinthian
fun.
Cup. So I thought that was
Wow.
such a cool story. And so I wasn't expecting anything but the cards. You got to look at the cards.
That is crazy. It could have been anything that they present as the
know.
trophy.
I
It's
know, they could-
literally on the card.
And it is literally a cup. So
Right.
wow.
Well, he has 8 more to win.
Exactly. So let me just look at some of the comments real quick. Yes, Eleanor, it's a great community.
Yeah.
And Kimberly, you were saying perhaps it could be Trump getting shot like Reagan did in the 1980s and survives. Yes, and weird that already happened. So could happen again. And thanks everybody for liking this show. And let's see. Wasn't Diana's brother Charles a commentator for the Today Show at one time? Yes, he was. Yeah, I think of him like that. Like it's, Diana's brother has all the contacts for Prince Harry. And he still has Diana's family. So he's not completely shunned, but it would be good of him to just chill out, I think. I don't think he is, though. Christiane in Tuscany. Hello. How is Tuscany?
Wow.
And good evening, darlings, from a chilly Sussex, England. It's chilly over there. I hope the weather's good this week. But anyway, Natalie, our true crimer. Off topic. Have we looked at Karen Reed lately? I actually decided to watch this trial. Yeah, I want to come on this week. I just did a Karen Reed chart. So you'll have to look at the recent show that I did.
Yeah.
And let's see.
Someone back in the chat asked a question, and I did pull cards to answer it. So I'll address.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember who asked the question about will Harry ever move back to the UK? And I got my Harry card, which is fascinating, and I have the moving card. My initial thought logically was a no. I just, based on everything we know logically that's out there, I would say no. But this little 2-card spread says that it's a possibility. So
yes. Yeah, he's going to figure it out, but his brother's going to be pretty upset. That's probably what's going to activate all of that Plutonian energy, because maybe Prince Harry's getting what he wants, and there are people who are not going to like that. Yeah. So yes, kitchen table talk, of course. Let's see. Val asking her uncle to bring his trophy to show and tell her live chat. And I know Corinthian, isn't that crazy? Yeah. Thanks, Jan. It's super wild. The cards and the charts do not lie. Yeah. And Harry recently said he doesn't feel his wife and children will be safe at the moment, allegedly. There's so much politics behind it. Yeah. But, as the world turns with this family, there's going to be more. And May is going to be super, super intense. And also, I wanted to just reiterate that there was a lot of Leo. You know what? I was about to leave here, but let me just show you something real quick. It is I forgot this point. Look at how with Prince Andrew's solar return, that around June is the Leo sign, and it's in his home, the 4th house, and the sun is squaring Uranus. We might need one more card. This is in his home, and it has to do with, now you've already answered the question about the royals though, but specifically with Prince Andrew, why are we seeing kind of like this shock? And it looks Leo related.
That could be fire. The Knight of Wands, again. But Temperance, there's something that's out of balance. This is like pH levels are off, not enough water, and too much fire.
And we've been talking about him on his horse too.
That's right. Yes.
So he better be careful. He better be careful.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you for obliging me and on the extra cards, and have a great week. Will you be here on Friday with us?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll have to think of if you guys have any comments or suggestions on what you want to hear on Friday, let us know in the comment section. And of course, if you're interested in booking a personal reading, there's our information. So have a great week, everyone, and we'll talk to you in a few days.
Thanks.
Bye, Amber.